seek the court ascend.
Welcome to the alley. Hey there, pretty. This is Aska's Alley, best tavern in Issa. Only tavern in Issa, of course, but you didn't know that, did you? If you're new in the city, I can help. I know everything. About the Understyle, the Embassy, the Scholia Arcana, you name it. I know it all. We provide your basic public service. Ale, and if drinking isn't your thing, then you can always stop by the Hexes game and back. Sure, we've got a place to sleep on the floor over there, but it'll cost you. Fine, it's up to you. Oh, if I had the finery and manners, you wouldn't find me anywhere but the Embassy Hall. I'd even buy a title. But it's a dreadful place these days, what with the war. The Darkelfar and Varani are practically at arms over their differences, and everyone speaks in a whisper. I prefer the United Merchants delegation. Those are my people. Olana and her squire Brio, they have the good fortune to meet with all the nobles who visit the High King. A life of lords and ladies. Oh, that's the life for me. So you want to brush up on your bad luck, do you? That game will do it for you, all right. Speak with Kali in the back. Is that the one at the far end of the Understyle? Yeah, I think that's the place. Never been there, but folks say that's where the Fae make the waterfalls. You see, the city gets its magic from the water. They call it the fountain. Or is it the wellspring? I never remember. I'm sure it's just a story anyway. When Issa first opened, the Alfar approached the humans about creating a shared shop, so people here could get their sundries. All of this was lost on the Fae, of course. Most of the United Merchants are good people, like Wystron and Gwenna, but that blacksmith's apprentice, Britt Codgan, he's a leech. Let me just say that I adore Olana. She's one of the few Fae that I've met face to face, and she couldn't be more pleasant. Such a pretty one. The Askers took me in when my pa was killed in the war. That's been nearly 10 years. Now this is my home, pretty. It's where you'll find me every day and every night. Oh, that's a sinister spot, isn't it? Even the Fae take a few extra steps to walk clear of there. Don't trust anyone in robes. Like I said, it's all magic to me. If the Fae said this city got its power from glowing purple antelopes, I'd probably believe them. I'm just a hostess. It's the Fae neighborhood on the other side of the city. There you'll find the Hall of Appointments and the Lyceum Grove. They don't mind if you go exploring in the Understyle, but I wouldn't suggest it unless you know your way around. The Fae can be easily offended. Bye now. Hi.
What could you possibly want from me? I am Warlord Wenery, Lady of the Red Sands. I am not to be disturbed. I am not petty, but I have limits, as do we all. I know I should lead the formation because of my position, but other, more tender individuals will insist otherwise. Whatever you do, do not make me walk behind the High Fae Mage Goronet. How shall I put this? He has an odor. My place is prowling the Feylands in search of a worthy challenge. Not here, petitioning fools about issues that do not concern me. You fell persons are ignorant, aren't you? The Great Cycle is what gives balance between the eternal conflict of growth and decay. When every Fae passes, he is reborn. As long as the Great Cycle persists, this world we share may continue to refine itself on a path to perfection. We adore him in every guise, yet he has a wistfulness that I do not understand. There is no fire in him, only a peaceful pool that goes deeper than any of us realize. There is no more important nature than that which lusts for battle. Creation and destruction are sisters in the Great Cycle, both necessary to maintain the balance. I am the flame that blackens the dirt, the smoke that blocks the sun. My time in the Withering War was my finest hour, but those seasons are long past now. The Summer Court would not stand for the mortal ambitions of Own, King of the Winter Court. So we burned him, as we burn a dying forest in need of mercy.
If you're looking to drown your worries at the bottom of a bottle, this is the place for you. I'm Gurturn Asker, and this is my establishment. But if you're looking for the Victor's Brew, we don't sell that in Asker's Alley, and you'll have to take your business elsewhere. It's the most popular drink in Amalur, at least it is now. My Asker's Ale used to be the preferred beverage, but every day brings more cancelled orders. My brother and I are working on a new drink, but it requires something special. Wait a minute. Maybe you could help. If you do, I could see to it that the merchants in Issa treat you well. So here's what we're thinking. Bring back our grandmother's favorite Asker's Draft, a classic. The recipe calls for bristletongue seeds, and if you're talking rare ingredients, bristletongue tops the list. It's worthless for potions, but tastes fabulous. The problem is that the Fae control the use of bristletongue, as it's a product of the Font's waters. Talk to Jackson, their apothecary. He can probably get it for us. He spends his time in the Lyceum Grove in the understyle section of town. He's an odd duck, always crafting new tonics. Some advice? Don't drink any. The ambassadors requested that facilities be created where flesh and blood folks could put their feet up. Not that the Fae know what that means. So the All-Main approached my family about starting a tavern. The alley does well, but I'm no businessman. It's been in our family for 4 generations, since the days of Almir the Bold. Our grandmother entrusted us with the formula, and we made a fortune from it. But I'm afraid we've been replaced by a new drink. King Almir? Almir the Bold? The founder of our people's nation? I'm sure you've heard of him before. We're named after him. I know better than to criticize the Fae. They call us children of dust. We treat them like people, but they're like no people I've ever met. This city has been here for thousands of years. Longer than that, even. It will be here long after we're gone. I wouldn't say I ran from the war. I just don't need to know every little thing that's going on. There are other ways to help. Getting folks drunk is one of them. Oh, yes, sorry. The United Merchants Delegation. It's a coalition of traders that have been granted permission to sell their wares in Issa. There's a brewery near Rathia that makes it. Very small, very secretive. But they've found their niche, that's for certain. Cheap and powerful. It's not a drink for the man who appreciates craftsmanship, tradition. It just helps the soldiers forget all they've been through. See you soon.
Hi, how are you? Need some chatter? I've got plenty to go around, pretty. Sure, we've got a place to sleep on the floor over there, but it'll cost... Fine, it's up to you. Bye now.
Yes, Gosling. This dwelling gets quite raucous. You mortals have a strange tendency to befoul anything.
If you see that rodent Brick Codkin, you tell him I'm coming. Tricks to sold me a fay on a brand.
You look like one who enjoys a game of hexes. We mortals need something of our own here in Issa. Why can't it be gambling? If you don't know how, I can teach you. You had a look about you. Listen, all you need recall is these 6 cards here in my hand. Ace, deuce, 3, 4, 5, and the hex. First, you start with an ante. What'll it be? In my hand, there's an ace, deuce, 3, 4, 5, and a hex. 6 cards all mixed up. First round, you guess even or odd. If you're right on a hex or an ace, you take the pot and we're done. Right on any other, and it's on to the second hand. Hand number 2. I'll pull another card, guess if it's higher or lower than the first. Get it right, you win. Simple as that. Bold, I like it. Now, will the card I draw be even or odd? Yes! And the draw is... the hex. Take your winnings, you fortunate fool. I knew I had you hooked. What's your ante? Oh, I'll miss you. And your money. Hexes and I will be here if you want to come back for a visit. You'll be back.
Have a nice day.
Aren't you bold?
This is the Varani wing of the embassy, and few venture here without being summoned. I am Ambassador Advar, he who bloodies the waters. Leave me to my business. This had better be worthy of my time. The Varani allow the purchase of several titles for use in the gardens of Issa, but they are rare and should be worn with great respect. No skin from my nose. Your business is your own, as is mine. Stay out of my way. Then we must do what needs to be done.
Perhaps we must finally swallow our dignity and draw our swords. Quiet. We must not discuss this further in the open. You must be the special messenger Tatarian's expecting. Trust me, the rest of us have heard plenty about it. Erwin can't keep his big mouth shut. I am Methani Keen, Dokalfar ambassador to the Summer Court Fae. I'm sorry. This is a difficult position sometimes. Something is about to happen, and it must be stopped. But that is all I can say. This is neither the time nor the place. If you're interested in hearing my story, meet me in the worship circle after dark, near the gates. I will wait for you there. This is not the place. I will meet you in the time and place I specified. They are a council of Fey nobles that advise the High King in matters of politics. Not that they even understand what that means. To them, politics is just a game. Well, more of a game than usual. You understand my meaning. This is where the Fey hide us to keep us out of sight. I used to take offense, but I got over it. I wouldn't want to live near them. Strange things, the Fey. Issa is fine, and the Fae are tolerable, but many believe they should do more to support the war effort. It's unjust to live in peace while the rest of the world burns. I've met with him several times. I'll admit, he radiates a certain presence, but I'm less interested in charisma than I am in leadership. Not everyone is welcome up there. It's where the court of summer nobles spend their time reminding themselves of past glories. I'd avoid it. Goodbye.
Greetings.
I hope you're here about the job. Demand is higher than ever. I'm just too busy to deal with anything else. Making a fortune is what? These visitors come with obscene amounts of gold or treasure. They don't mind parting with it. My plan was brilliant. I created a blade. Fey blade, of course, that makes them authentic. Something all of them had to have. That's all they care about anyway. Fey souvenirs. I called it the Honor brand. Truth be told, it's dull as a stick, but it's easy to make. Listen, if you can find the parts and make them, I'll pay good money. Fabulous, fabulous! You know a good deal when you see it. There aren't enough people like you in Issa. The Fae don't even use money. Can you imagine? Once you start forging the honor brands, bring them to me and I'll provide you with just compensation. There should be plenty of parts around the city. For creatures with no interest in possessions, they sure know how to collect a fair amount of junk. Sure. You want to know about me? It's understandable. You want to know who you're going into business with. A wise move. Very wise. My mother was a merchant in Rathir, and I learned the trade at her side. I took the apprenticeship with Gwenna Hand mostly to get me into Issa. Now I'm on my own. What do I know of Fae politics? I didn't even know they had a city until Gwen and I were allowed in. All I know is that there's opportunity here, thanks to the war. I can sum up the war in one word. Folly. It is folly. You will see. Everyone will see. You think I like being confined to this cage? Think again. And after all we've done for them in this war, ungrateful creatures. It's safe, that's for sure. At least for the time being. I don't quite understand the Fae, but they definitely know how to keep a city quiet. She's the general merchant in the United Merchants delegation down the road. We've been friends for years now, I believe. A good, honest one, that Gwenna. Not just anyone can enter the secret city of the Fae. Oh no. You need an ambassador's endorsement and written authorization, and that's just to be in the lottery. Those in the United Merchants are the lucky ones. Of course, once you see how much gold they actually make in Issa, you will no longer envy them. Keep an eye out for parts.
Need training? I'm taking apprentices. You've been watching me long enough. What is it? Did I wrong you in another life, brother? I'll be here.
Need anything? If you're looking to buy armor, I'm the only one in Felltown who's authorized to sell it. I'm Gwenna Hand, but my I don't have many weapons to offer, on account of the peace edict, but there's still a selection to pick through. Have at it. Nice talking.
Weapons? You need any? Get over here. We don't abide by strangers in Issa. In this city, everyone is family. If you want to get around the peace edict, you'll have to keep your voice down. Bye now.
Good. You've come. I'm sorry to make you wait like this, but what I mean to discuss is very sensitive. It involves treachery. Despite the calm you see around you, the gardens of Issa are on the brink of war. And the question is, who will be fighting? There are plans being made to seize this city. The Varani are displeased with the Court of Summer's lack of support for their people, and they wish to overthrow Tatarian and force the remaining Fae to fight. We can prevent this, but we must act now. If gold is an issue, we Dakelfar can pay well. The Varani cannot stomach Tatarian's neutrality. They believe that his Fae subjects could be convinced to march with us on the battlefield. I believe this as well, but I would never resort to violence. The Varani wish to turn Issa into a military camp. I cannot let that happen. It will ruin all my people have achieved here. Of course, it is the right thing to do. The leader of the plot is the Varani ambassador, Kirna Brenner. Every night, the ambassador strolls Memory Walk, alone. She carries a pair of daggers. Take them. Afterwards, dispose of them. Destroy them. Salvage them. I don't care. Return to me when it is done. She is no politician. She is a warlord, and a cruel one. I've heard stories that would make your heart brittle. She was sent here for one reason alone, to bring down Issa. They are a well, more of a game than you. The Varani communicate secretly using weapons. They engrave codes into the blades of daggers and swords, and that way, they can get them through a typical search. We believe this particular pair of daggers describes the defenses of Issa, where it's strong and where it's weak. The Varani are plotting, and they will act. She spends most of her time in the embassy, but in the evenings, she enjoys a leisurely stroll through Memory Walk. Try there after dark. Goodbye.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome.
Yes?
So, you're done. A right group of snakes, eh? So, any insight into how I should present them so as not to tug their writhing tails? It's good that someone does. Go on. Let's line up these backstabbing serpents. Yes, yes. Of course. And then? All right. Next. Yes, yes. Excellent. That's a perfect order for these fools. Saves me the trouble of talking to them. Thank you. Goodbye.
Issa is yours to explore.
mortal in the understyle. This is indeed a treat. Come closer. I seldom see one of your kind so far from Felltown. Bristletongue, my, that would be something. A mockingbird with the font's only yield. Of course I will tell you where it is. What would be the fun in refusing? But before I do that, you need to offer me something. Isn't that how you mortals act? One deed for another? As steward of tinctures and elixirs, I often dabble in alchemy, especially with the water from the font. And I need you to drink this potion. Good. I will know what this does to the mortal constitution. Go on, big gulps now. None of that sipping. If you ever wish to learn, come visit.
What do you want? Do you have business with the Varani in the Gardens of Issa? If so, then you must speak with me, Kierna Brenner. What do you want? Do you have business with the You must mean Keen and her cohorts in the embassy. Lapdogs, all of them. They don't appreciate the situation. They don't understand sacrifice. This plot interests you. Listen, Ambassador Keen tries to stop me, but she can only do so while she lives and breathes. You can help me put an end to that. Fine, but you are playing this game for the weaker side. If Keen wants to stop us, she will send someone, and when they come, I will be ready.
How did I get here?
You've done well, Child of the Dust. Those below will never know what is really happening. But in the end, is this a part of the many seasons or the sudden tempest? Does hiding the rot not spoil the harvest, no? Take this. You're brave. Perhaps we will meet again. May your gods protect you, mortal.
I am at your service.
Let us never speak of this again. I don't know you. I don't like you. And I hope I never see you again. Take this gold and these supplies. Such items are hard to come by in wartime. This is where we part.
Hey. Good evening.
This is not your place, Dustling. Oh, my work is never done.
You've got the seeds! Now we'll see if the Victor's Brew can stand up to a new challenger. I'll have a batch of Asker's draft ready before the week is out. Take this, friend. And like I promised, the merchants here will give you a discount. You've got a home here in the alley for as long as you like. See you soon.